Hello, Yvette. How are you?
I'm good, Kai. How are you?
Good. So on this video, I like to talk about a super powerful exercise I learned from Heather, my classroom leader, and then she asked all of our team to take on. So this exercise is how do we fully embed it in a person's point of view and actually really recreating this person's entire life pain, life struggle, life experience through one sentence.
One
And
sentence.
yes, and this sentence is I am uh, what? The word is what. So this is a powerful sentence, but that this sentence can recreate the person's entire life.
I am X and the world is Y.
Correct, correct. I'm X, the word is Y. So let's start. I want you to think of a person you know and don't tell me who that person is, but give me his or her point of view.
Okay. One is I'm not enough and the world is scary.
Okay. Oh. So to start this, I'm not enough. The word is scary. So I'm gonna take a deep breath and then actually jump into that point of view. I'm not enough. The word is scary. Okay.
So you're being that person right now, is that right?
I'm being that person. So it's
Okay.
very important to it takes exercise, it takes a practice to actually pretending that my point of view is I'm not enough and the word is scary. And then if my point of view is like that, then how my life is unfold on each stage. And then what's my biggest scare? What is my limiting belief? What's my pain?
hmm
And this really helps the foundation once I get that person's experience for me able to communicating uh, with him or her. Okay, so the first part, I'm not enough, is a very common one. Uh, so it's all point of view is coming from some type of child PTSD. So I'm not enough is coming from as a child. Like my childhood is like I no matter what I do, I cannot meet my parents' requirement,
hmm
and they have expectation, and then I try. No matter what I try, I'm already short. I'm always short. I'm always short. I'm always short. So so that forced me to go to two directions. I either keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, eventually become an overperformer,
hmm
or I just give up, saying since no matter what I try, I will not meet anyway. I may not I, 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 I may not as well not trying. So my personally are the first one. So let me go with the first one. So my parents is over criticizing and over expecting. So my entire childhood, uh, I live in disappointment, and that start with obviously uh, from my parents. On everything I do, there's a disappointment, and as I go into elementary school and then later high school, that that demanding voice, I internalize it. So it started with disappointment from my parents, and then later I internalize that voice. So so our disappointment of myself, no matter what I achieve, there's always disappointment because I'm always not perfect, and that is where the biggest pain is. That that the part that I'm always a disappointment. I'm always disappointment. and 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 that's how I see myself. I'm always disappointed, and my interaction with others will go. I'm over. I, I, I'm over demanding myself. Obviously, I'm over demanding on others. So so I become over critic of others as well.
Is that to make up for?
No, it's not makeup because I over criticize myself, and that become how I see everybody else.
Ah,
How I see. If I'm not enough, you certainly are not enough.
mm,
If I'm a disappointment, you for sure is a disappointment. And so that's formulate the subconscious foundation of how I interact with my romantic partners, my friends, my coworkers. Like a like a like my partner, you're not perfect. So so I can see so many points you can improve. And the way I communicate is exactly the way how my parents communicate with me. I criticize, but to me, it occurs to me as a contribution. But to you, I'm just a big make run machine.
mm,
So that's the foundation of all my relationships. And and that's the first part, the byproduct of I'm not enough. The byproduct of that is a make run machine. Like I become a make run machine. And then the second part is the word is scary, right?
mhm,
Oh boy, the word is scary. I live in fear from as a child. I live in fear, and that's also like again the point of view is a PTSD from the parents. So so I live in fear. It's coming from my parents should have protect me and provide me with safety, but they didn't. At least at least it doesn't occur to me they they provide safety for me. So I have to I have to do protect myself in terms of safety.
oh, how did you figure this out?
And well, so because the second part is the word is scared. So how I see the outside world is I live in fear constantly.
Mhm.
And that fear, the word is scary. The scary is several possibilities. It can be scary of physical safety, and that's really I'm fear of my safety. It can be scary of judgment. Then I constantly living in fear how other people sees me. So because I live in fear, so automatically I have my wall up all the time, and that affects how I communicating with other people.
Mm.
Um, uh, be, because my communication, the first priority is not how I creating love and affinity. The first priority is how do I feel safe, and and then how my relationship with my partner is slightly distant because I need to be safe, and I want to make sure I don't give him anything or give him or her anything that she could use to hurt me, and and that of course will be counterproductive to a loving relationship. And then how I related to say my coworker. If I live in the world is scary, then what they are doing is either intentional or unintentional to hurt me, and then I need to be on my guard all the time. So it's stressful, exhausting, and and of course fearful.
Wow. So it's interesting because when I think back, and this is what we call our point of view, correct?
Yes,
When I think back on other points of view, there's a similarity about how the world occurs
yes,
that I'm seeing for, different people I've spoken with.
yes,
There's something to avoid.
yes. So well, so now once I'm able to re, recreate that person's,
Mhm,
now while communicating with him, I know the top priority because I know his trigger now. He
mhm.
he his trigger is really coming from whether I post a threat or judging.
So is that what they're listening with for a filter?
They constantly listening for threat. If their point of view is the world is scary, they constantly looking for threat. And then if the first part is I'm not enough,
Mhm.
so then they constantly looking for judging or like a approval. Well,
Mm.
if I'm not enough, yes. So I'm not enough, then they they because they constantly looking for me wrong.
So, okay, let me ask you a question then. This is good.
Mhm.
Why would they not be looking for approval or confirmation you are enough? You are enough.
Ah, the approval. People looking for approval. Their first part is I'm not lovable.
Oh,
See, the approval is for the person. Enough is for the things I do, for the tasks I do. That's where the difference is. If I'm looking for approval, then my point of view is I'm not lovable.
okay. I know people like that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to give that one to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not lovable and the world is scary. Or wait, no, the world is mean. Sorry.
What
I'm
is
not
mean?
lovable and the world
Okay,
is
okay,
mean.
okay. I'm glad we have a different flavor. So I'm not lovable is another big one. Okay. So as a kid, as a child, uh, if my first part is I'm not lovable, how my relationship with my parent, this is very interesting, is the parent will blaming me for what's going on because because a parent will say it is my fault, it is the child's fault that they didn't providing enough love, they didn't providing enough attention, they didn't giving me enough support. It's not their fault, it is my fault. And that basic shows the parents itself, they have their sort of a struggle so that they do not want to take responsibility of what's happening. So as a kid, I grew up as, oh, like a like a, my parents don't love me, or they don't care for me, it is my fault. So since it is my fault, then the biggest symptom for me is I'm seeking approval or seeking agreement. And for like as a human being, as a children, we every single one of us is seeking approval of parents.
Mhm.
But a severe ways of, if the person's point of view is I'm not lovable, I not only seeking approval of the parents, I'm seeking approval of everybody.
Seeking approval of everybody.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Okay,
like,
that makes sense. Everybody, it's almost like everybody is my parent.
yes, it's like a for a healthy human being, if a point of view is not this, then say I only say I only want agreement for people that actually matters to me. But for person's point of view is I'm not lovable. There's 8 billion people in the world. I want every single one of them approve me.
Mm.
And and this gave me a super stressful life. Because when I go out, when I say say go to Starbucks, meeting a random person, instead of enjoying my coffee in Starbucks, I was like, how did he sees me? Like, do I look good? Do I do I look well to that perfect stranger? Like I will probably never met in the rest of my life, but it stressed me out because I'm always thinking I need everybody to approve of me so that I can get love. But uh, there is another symptom of I'm not lovable is I can be with the most loving partner, and then she can love me from Earth to the moon and back, but I will not be able to believe in him. Like my brain will automatically make up story that he doesn't really love me. He does this because of this. He does this because of this. Because how our brain works is if I am already taking the truth, I'm not lovable, then anything contradict that has to be wrong. So even if I have the most loving partner and he really cannot love me. So what happens in all my romantic relationship is I since that person's love me, but I don't believe he loved me, she loved me, then eventually I will sabotage all my relationship and drive the person away.
You sabotage before that person can hurt you. Is that right?
No, I sabotage that not because of the hurting. Because hurting will go to the second part, the word is. I'm still talking about the first part. I
Uh-huh.
sabotage because if that person actually loved me, then I will be wrong.
Oh, because to protect the identity, to
Exactly.
survive. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So in order for my identity to survive, I have to be not lovable. And that person has to be good to me because of some other motivations or not real
Mm-hmm.
or he's only pretending or he can only do this for a couple months and then he will fade out. The like my brain will make up automatically make up the story so that eventually will sabotage the relationship.
Oh, that's good.
And so the first part, we are still talking about the first part.
Mm-hmm.
And to summarize this, uh, the two big symptoms, the first one is uh, that I'm seeking approval. It's a very stressful life to seeking approval of 8 billion people. It's impossible to live life like that. And the second part is uh, I don't believe anybody who's generally good to me. And and then because of that, any relationship I create will collapse. The only thing will survive, the only relationship will survive is a person don't really love me. And the person actually have a ulterior motive to be with me. That type of relation will survive because it actually confirm my identity.
Oh, that's interesting. And then,
Now the second part is the word
yes.
mean. So if I live in the world in in a world which is mean, that so So while I'm living in a world is mean, I have to on my guard, on my defense all the time. Because I need to prevent myself being hurt. So so naturally my default is putting everyone in a distance. And it's very, very hard or impossible for anyone to get into my world to actually to be kind. Because if anyone who is generally kind to me, it's also a denial of my identity. So in order for my identity to survive, nobody can be kind of me. So I create a world. I create my surroundings
Mm-hmm.
that everybody is mean to me, and in reaction, I am distant to everybody.
Hmm.
So my distance maybe end up landing as mean to other people, but from my subjective perspective, I'm simply distant to be safe, to protect myself. So how that echoes into my relationship, I'm distant with my partner, uh, uh, like any romantic relationship will be a very loose one. I'm distant to my team, my team co-workers, then 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 it's very compartmentalized. It's I do my job, you do your job. We don't want to get involved any further. I'm distant with my relative,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm distant with my friends. So I create this very lonely world, which I feel safe. And the biggest fear now, the biggest fear this person constantly listening for, so, and so on the first part, I'm not lovable. So this person constantly looking for judging, and and in this case, is judging of his character, like so that it feeds into I'm not lovable. And the second part, the word is mean, and 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 this person is looking for mean. Mean will occurs as like you're harsh to me, or or you're not nice to me, and he tend to interpret any behaviors as you're just bullying me, or you're the bad guy. uh, so so when we communicating to a person like this, we understand he's triggering, and so when we're speaking, we want to not triggering him, and then in the same time we also understand exactly what he's fundamentally need. His fundamentally need is love with no agenda. So there is a way for us to communicate absolute love, like a unconditional love. There's a communicating way of communicating that.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a whole video on that.
Yes, um, but this is the way to communicating with a person that his point of view is because he doesn't believe
Mhm.
anyone will love him
Mhm.
without any agenda.
Yes.
So so the way to communicate that is to communicate exact that, and once he's get that, it will sort of shatter his world.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is a great insight into what's coming for future videos. Thank you.
Yes. So to to just summarize,
Mhm.
so this is a exercise like a Team San Diego we asked our team to do, and in the beginning it will take some practice
Mhm.
for you to actually get in hand of it. And you really need to feel the say tightness in the chest, like heart hurting, in order for you to actually drop into that person's pain and getting that person's word. But once you get in hand of it, it helps not only how you're speaking, it helps how you listen, because because in previous video we covered 3 layers of listening, 3 layers of communication, and that person's habitual speaking is coming from the point of view. So once you are fully located yourself, saying, okay, this is how he grew up, and this is what his biggest fear and his biggest pain, how he speaks, you can automatically hear those 3 layers. So it just builds a foundation. Okay.
Nice. Thank you.